What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Wrestling World Podcast. I'm your host, AJ. Before we get into tonight's video, hit that like and sub button and hit that notification bell for your latest wrestling news, rumors, content, and spoilers. WWE Backlash has just ended about 20 minutes ago. And did R-Truth just turn heel? But before we get into that, we got to talk about some other stuff, guys. So we start the night off with a fatal four-way: Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. This was a great opening. A great back and forth, some great spots in this match. A lot of back and forth between McIntyre and Priest as they've been feuding for a while. LA Knight looked great in this match. Jacob Fatu looked phenomenal, but Jacob Fatu ultimately picks up the win here. As predicted, right? You can't have Jacob Fatu lose this match. Obviously, it's his first major title defense. His first defense at a pay-per-view event. You gotta give it to Fatu. No-brainer. Great match to start off Backlash. Next up, we have Lyra Valkyria versus Becky. Another great match. And this is one that I didn't expect to be that good. But man, did they just blow the roof off that place. Now, I picked Becky to win this match. I know I didn't give my review or my predictions as I normally do. But I had Becky winning this match. Just because she is a much bigger star than Lyra. Let's be honest, she is. Not saying Lyra's not good, but Becky is the man. She's at the top of the game. So I had Becky winning this match. From start to finish, the match was great. I mean, it really was. Whenever Lyra had pinned Becky, I did not think it was a 3 count. Did not think it was a 3 count. I saw Becky get up and attack her, but then when I seen the referee pulling Becky off of her, when Becky had the disarmer on Lyra, when I seen the referee pulling Becky off of her, that's when I knew, okay, it was a 3 count, and Lyra retained. To me, I was a little bit shocked because I did not think Lyra would retain, but what this does is this sets them up for another pay-per-view match, which is something I'm looking forward to. But I love how WWE is, making us feel like Becky could win, Becky's gonna win, then they give it to Lyra. Much like WrestleMania when they did Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte, most of us thought that Charlotte Flair was gonna walk out of WrestleMania, but Tiffany won. So WWE is not as predictable as it was under the Vince era. This proves it tonight, and I love that. So Lyra definitely put on a show. I'm definitely a Lyra fan after tonight, and I can't wait to see what they do after Backlash Monday night, because it is going to be a great feud between these two. I can't wait to see the next match. So then we move on to Penta versus Dom, and I'm sorry if these matches are out of order, but yeah. Penta versus Dom, I completely missed, guys. I was in the kitchen doing something else, came back, the match was over, but a friend of mine told me Dominik Mysterio retained. Makes sense. This is Dom's first title defense. Much like Jacob Fatu, you gotta give it to Dom. Now, I love Penta. And in any other circumstance, I would have chose Penta. But kind of hard, right? And so, you got to give Dominik his moment, give him his first title defense. I do see Penta becoming an Intercontinental Championship at some point, but this is a huge win for Dom. This guy went from getting booed out of every arena to now being cheered in every arena. So this guy has come very far. But yes, I do see Penta capturing gold soon. Maybe the next event, maybe the next few events, who knows. But Penta definitely is going to be IC champion here soon. It's definitely going to happen. Next up, we have Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This match was kind of fun to watch, much like how I expected. We expected Gunther to just give Pat McAfee the beatdown. It was hard to see Pat McAfee take that beatdown, being that I am from Pittsburgh, so I am a Pat McAfee fan. But this was expected. Now, I did hear rumors within the last week that maybe Goldberg would return and confront Gunther, maybe costing Gunther the win here. But this, I mean, you got to give Gunther the win. Makes sense. He's coming off of a huge loss to Jey Uso, sorry, Jey Uso, and he needs that win. So no big surprise though. I thought there'd be some type of interference. We did see Michael Cole get involved a few times, but it didn't help Pat McAfee none, as Gunther was able to choke Pat McAfee out and was able to pick up the win. But Pat McAfee impresses me every time the guy is in the ring. He is great at what he does, great commentator all around. Not afraid to take a bump. You got to give him credit where it's due. But Gunther needed this win. Now, I don't know if this will set up Gunther versus Michael Cole. Who knows? Because technically, the beef is with Gunther and Cole. Pat McAfee kind of just, injected himself. But maybe this sets up Michael Cole versus Gunther. I don't know. Or Gunther versus Goldberg down the line. Like I said, I've heard reports of Goldberg returning soon, confronting Gunther. Didn't happen tonight. Honestly, I hope it doesn't happen, but I could see WWE going that route as, it's not the first time that we've seen Gunther and Goldberg face off. So WWE could very well go that route. Just didn't happen tonight, but could happen in the near future. Next up, we have match of the night. Now we'll say it's match of the night because these guys tore the roof off the place. John Cena versus Randy Orton. 25 years in the making. 25 years these guys have been beating the hell out of each other. And from start to finish, I mean, these guys, attitude adjustment after RKO, finisher after finisher. They did put on a show. Then, all hell broke loose, and you saw, the outside brawl. Randy Orton actually hit an AA on to John Cena through the announce table and through a table. 2 AAs, actually. So it is pretty cool to see, Cena be able to do that on, Randy be able to do that on Cena. It would have been cool to see Cena hit RKO, though, for real. But, didn't happen. But we did see some carnage to the outside. There were a lot of moments where you thought maybe Randy was going to punch Cena, maybe Randy was going to pick up the win, but Cena kept coming back and coming back. Showing shades of the old Cena, showing shades of that hustle, loyalty, respect, John Cena that we know and love. And Cena kept coming back and coming back. Towards the end there, we thought maybe Randy Orton was going to pick up the win. Surprisingly, though, R-Truth got involved and cost Randy Orton the win, saving his childhood hero, John Cena, and helping Cena pick up the win here. So, I don't know, maybe we could all say R-Truth turn heel, I don't know. But you be the judge of that. Maybe, technically, that could be counted as a heel turn. Who knows? But it was pretty funny. It was pretty cool. We did also see Nick Aldis get involved. I kind of thought maybe Nick Aldis would turn heel on Orton, being that they do have history, and that would have been a good way to kind of set up Nick Aldis versus Orton if they were going to do it. So I kind of thought maybe that would be the route. But no, Nick Aldis, was trying to keep order of the match and, trying to get the referee up and counting and doing his job. Orton ends up RKOing Nick Aldis once again. He RKOs Jamie Noble. He RKOs Shane Helms. RKOs everybody else. But in the end, it was R-Truth that ended up taking the RKO to save his childhood hero, John Cena, which then led to Cena hitting Randy Orton with a low blow, then with the belt, and then 1, 2, 3, and the match was over. So then Cena, post-celebration, on his, in the ring, chance of "you suck, Cena," chance of "thank you, Cena." You can see the emotion on his face. John Cena is a heel, but even as a heel, you can see the emotion in his face, and I thought that was a really cool moment with Cena as well. That WWE was able to close the show out with that, was showing that. So do think the show was decent from start to finish. For being such a little match card, there wasn't many matches on the card at all, but it was a decent show. You got to give them credit where it's due. Um, and there wasn't much build up to these matches. I'll be honest. It didn't seem like there were build up to really any of these matches except for Cena and Orton, in my opinion. But yeah, decent show in my opinion. I give it an A. Every match I thought was pretty solid, except for the Dominik Mysterio and Penta match that I didn't get to see though. But I'll go back and rewatch that. But decent match, decent matches, and moving on to the next one. What's next for Cena? Who knows? I'm guessing maybe they got CM Punk next. Maybe Seth Rollins. Who knows? Roman Reigns. There's so many routes they can go right now. And this match was one for the record book because it was history in the making. These guys, Randy Orton, John Cena, going at it once again, putting on a show, and just doing what they do best. But I love Backlash, guys. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. What did you think? Tell me. Hope you guys have a good day. What do you think of R-Truth? Do you consider that a heel turn? Let me know. What was your favorite match of the night? Let me know in the comments, guys. Have a good day. Take care. Good night.